As my first ever e-bike, I'm so happy to be on Tekaloti off-road trails with this HOVSCO HovAlpha e-bike. Now this bike has a lot of strong capabilities and features that I want to demonstrate for you guys in this video. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to go on this off-road path. It's a very steep downhill and I want to see what this bike is really about. First things first, before we actually do that, I want to give you guys the technical specs of this bike because there are a lot of things that are outstanding about it. As you can tell, this e-bike is an all-terrain e-bike. Not only is it perfect on the road, but it is perfect for the environment that I'm currently in at the moment because it's fitted with studded 26-inch tires that are 4 inches wide. Now, as you already know, I ride motorcycles and I ride quite a lot of motorcycles. Riding this e-bike is very reminiscent of riding a smaller motorcycle because these tires are so huge. While you're riding it, it gives you a lot of confidence on the road. Aside from that, you get disc brakes in the front and on the rear. Just like you would find in motorcycles, the bedding in period for the rear and the front brakes do take anywhere between 40 to 70 pumps. So in the beginning, I didn't have that much confidence in them, but once the brakes bedded in, these brakes provide a lot of stopping power, which is pretty impressive for an e-bike. As far as the battery is concerned, you get a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery. As far as the motor is concerned, it is in the rear as opposed to in the middle. But besides that, it does have a torque sensor. So if you're going up a hill and it notices that you need a little bit more push, even if you don't give it that much input, it'll move you along the path at a good, decent pace. Because I've experienced that on this bike, riding it from home to here. And I've been riding it probably about 4 or 5 miles so far. As far as the gears are concerned, in the front, you have 7 of them. And the gearing system is provided by Shimano. Now, as far as speed is concerned, you get 20 miles per hour on the throttle. But if you're using pedal assist, it goes all the way up to class 3, and that is 28 miles per hour. And as far as payload is concerned, it's good up to 450 pounds, which is amazing.
2 hours later.
I really don't have that much off-roading experience, so this is my first time ever doing off-roading on a bicycle, but I've done off-roading on a motorcycle, so it's a totally different story. But this e-bike does have a pretty good suspension. The front suspension is adjustable in 2 different ways. Number 1, compression, and the second one, sag. So you can definitely adjust these things to your liking, but I've left them as stock and they perform pretty well. Considering I'm not going to be doing that much off-roading on this bike, I think it's perfect for my needs at the current moment. Whee! Wow, this is a very, very steep incline and I'm having to use both brakes. But it does have a lot of biting power, as I mentioned. Wow, this was really fun. I gotta do more off-roading from now on. Yeah. The starting function of this motorcycle is really easy to do because all you have to do is just pedal a little bit and then the motor kicks in and you take off right away. Now, since we're still on this off-road path, I'm probably gonna keep it in pass number 1 because you got 5 different passes here. Pass standing for pedal assist. With pedal assist number 1, I believe you'll be able to reach anywhere between 15 to 17 miles an hour. Let's give it a try and see what happens. All right, so 17 miles an hour, 18 miles an hour. Yeah, so I'm about 18 miles an hour right now, 20. So the faster you pedal, the faster you go, and the momentum keeps you going with the pedal assist as well as the torque sensor inside of the motor. Now, as far as the dashboard is concerned, it's pretty intuitive and you get a lot of different functions on this dashboard. And you also have 5 buttons on the left-hand corner. There's a plus and minus for the pedal assist. There's also a little light switch. With the light switch, it's not a push it once and push it twice to turn it off. You have to actually hold it down for about 2 to 3 seconds and then it turns off and turns back on as soon as you hold it down once again for about 2-3 seconds. But the main power button all the way towards the right hand side tells you your odometer reading, and then it also tells you your trip meter. Hello. So on this trip I've currently done 3.8 miles. I've always seen these fat tire bikes all over San Diego and I always wanted to try one for myself. And I gotta tell you, this is one great experience. And today is one of those beautiful days to do something like this. One thing I just realized is that people hear you coming from a long way. Like the person in front of me back there heard me coming, and I think these fat tires make a lot of road noise when you're riding to other people. So that's a pretty good thing in my book. All right, now onto normal roads. Let's kick it up a notch put it into pedal assist number 5 and see how fast we can take this baby. All right, here we go. Speed run. All right, so we are going against the wind, and I got up to 27 miles per hour, which is pretty impressive. Ah, there goes the gas station. Should we pull over and get some gas? No, it's an e-bike. It doesn't need that. I'm so used to riding motorcycles, man. You guys are an OG of the channel. You know how many motorcycles I've ridden and my current bikes. So riding an e-bike such as this is a real pleasure. Something totally different for my channel. I really like the torque assist. It's a really cool feature. You don't need to pedal that much. The torque assist realizes that you need momentum, so it gives you a little bit of push even though you don't need to pedal. That is a really nice feature of this bike. And we're off. Just a little kick and it takes off. With a comfortable 20 miles an hour. I've done about 5.7 miles on the odometer on this trip, and I still have all 5 bars, which is fantastic. HOVSCO claims that you can ride this bike for a full 80 miles if you're on pedal assist. Also, as you're riding the bike, there's a little meter that tells you how much of assistance you're getting from the rear-bound motor. So if you want to conserve energy, just make sure that you're somewhere in the middle. As I've been riding pretty aggressively, that's one way to drain energy very fast. I've been riding the scooters for a very long time. I've actually owned 3 of them, but I've never owned an actual e-bike with a motor inside of it and a large battery pack that does all the way up to 80 miles on a single charge. That's quite impressive because this could definitely be used as not only a first mile vehicle, but also a last mile vehicle. I'm going to be moving in a few days, and I could see myself riding this bike probably everywhere. All it needs is a small little basket in the back. You can go grocery shopping and do whatever else you need to do. It's fantastic. All right, no cars coming. Let's go. That over there is SeaWorld. Riding a bicycle is just so damn relaxing because when I'm riding a motorcycle, it's got a lot of sound. It is super exciting. It does 150 miles an hour at a blink of an eye. But when you're riding an e-bike such as this, and something that I'm noticing right now, is that all of a sudden, everything slows down and you're able to enjoy the fresh air. You're able to enjoy the scenery. It's not going past you at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's really a relaxing thing to do. And I'm starting to really enjoy it. So hopefully I'll make some more videos with this bike because riding this bike has made me appreciate something other than a motorcycle. And let's not forget, there are roads designed specifically for e-bikes, which is amazing. This bike is perfect for someone over 6 feet tall. Like I'm a short person, so for me to step on and off of this bike, it's almost like stepping on and off a motorcycle. It's that big. Like this is a huge hunk of a bike, weighing somewhere around 78 pounds. Now, I'm not saying that's a negative thing. I think for some, I think for most, because I'm not average height, I think for most this will be a very positive thing. And the height and the weight of it makes the bike very stable. So I think that's a plus. Not complaining at all. But for someone short like me, as you can see, I'm moving around in it. I have to get off of the seat. My crotch is literally on top of this thing, so if I fall and hit this head on, it's gonna hurt. The other thing I'm noticing about riding e-bikes, and by the way, all these things that I'm noticing, they're all new to me, so as someone who's never ridden e-bikes before, I think this is a truthful review, an honest one to tell you exactly how I feel as I ride this HOVSCO bike. Like I said, the other thing I'm noticing is that riding a bike in bike paths is such a soothing feeling that you get. Unlike roads where it's cluttered with cars and traffic and everything else, the roads I'm riding right now are designed for bicyclists. And so that means less traffic, less things to worry about. And I think pedestrians respect you more as a result of riding a bike. Like that guy just waved me hello, I waved him back. And this happened on a previous occasion back there as well. All right, some more off-roading here. Oh, this bike is so smooth. It's fat tires are starting to make a lot more sense now. All right, you know what? Let's see how this thing handles in the sand. Will it be able to handle it? Let's find out. Woo! Yeah. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Very cool. Riding in the sand? No problem. Okay, all right. Wow, the sand is super sloshy. I'm wondering how it does it. Amazing. Like, I stepped in it for a second just to get my camera, and I literally like went down 4 inches. The off-roading capabilities of this bike is unbelievable. All right, that was cool. Let's get back on the road and on to our destination. All right, I got the bike all muddied up. Wow, this is gonna be a challenge. Look at this, guys. Like, if this isn't a lot of sand and off-roading, I don't know what is. Wow, and it conquered it. Holy macro. I was expecting this thing to fall over, but nope. These set of tires are amazing. So I've been doing 9.5 miles and I still have 5 bars left, which is amazing. Check this out, more sand, sun, and water. Gotta love San Diego. This is like the perfect place to ride, isn't it? Yes, sir. Well, here we are at our final destination. And I gotta tell you, I really like this. It's a nice feeling to come and ride this bike and not have to use all my own manpower, but we got some horsepower here. I don't know how much horsepower this has, but it's the perfect amount of power to bring you somewhere and you're not exactly exhausted by the time you're done. We've been on the sand with it. We've done plenty of miles on regular paved roads like this, and these fat tires have handled amazing.
A few moments later.
To say that I'm impressed with my first ever e-bike is probably an understatement. As I mentioned before, I ride a lot of high-performance motorcycles, and for me to get on an e-bike for the first time, I didn't know exactly what to expect, but it handled amazing, not only on pavement, but also on the sand, as well as on off-road tracks that we went in the beginning of this video. But most importantly, I think the range of this motorcycle is quite accurate because I've done about 10 miles or close to 11 miles and only 1 bar is down. So that means we still have a whole lot to go and I'm quite far away from home. But I really enjoyed my time with the HOVSCO HovAlpha 26-inch all-terrain bike, and I highly recommend it to you. I've included a link for it down in the description below. I believe they're having a sale right now, and there's also a coupon available with this bike. And if you're not into the 26-inch version, they also have a step-through version that I'll be reviewing on my travel channel, and I'll let you guys know when that one is released. But in the meantime, check this bike out. It's a lot of bike for the money, and I think it's exactly what they advertise it to be, which is a fantastic e-bike. But until the next episode, I'll see you guys later. Ciao for now.